What's up, dancers? My name is Roxy. Welcome to my channel. On this channel, we talk a lot of things related to dancers' health, well-being, longevity, and fulfillment. And usually we focus on the side of things that have to do with your physical health and longevity. But I also really want to talk about the more creative longevity and creative confidence and empowering yourself to create the opportunities that you want to experience, to take things into your own hands. And a big shift for me as a dancer in my career, having been in the ballet industry, the modern dance industry, and now fully in the pole world, I grew up kind of in this mindset of like, I have got to wait for opportunities that other people give me. I want to try and get into other companies or like get hired, or like my only goal is to be hired, right? I'm not the one producing the shows, and was kind of in this limited mindset of like, that's how you become a professional performer, is like hoping that you get hired somewhere. But I've had some amazing opportunities here in Asheville in the pole world that I have actually been able to create myself. And so if you know me, if you follow me on Instagram, you know I'm all about like doing the thing and going for it and having big visions and big dreams and having the follow through, having the aligned action, having the plans and discipline to make it happen. So I wanted to talk to you guys today about how you can go about creating performance opportunities for yourself, for other people, and how to produce your own show. So if you have ever wanted to produce a show, this is going to be the perfect video for you. I'm going to go over logistics, finances, things to think about, marketing, all the things to have a really successful show for you, and to also uplift other dancers in your community and be the one paying others and be that badass boss bitch creating things, doing badass stuff in your communities. In a past life, I was an event planner. I love putting together a theme, planning events, parties, shows. Like, oh, I just love it. It makes me so happy. It doesn't even feel like work to me. So I'm gonna take you through my kind of process of like how I plan things out, make them really creative, make them be successful, because I want you guys to create opportunities. Like if there's not something out there already that exists that you really want, create it. Like if you have ever thought like, oh, it would be so cool to do a show like this, or like a performance like this, or I've always wanted to go to something like this, create it. Just make it happen. Do it yourself. If not you, then who, right? Like you have everything you need to make badass dope shit happen. And I'm gonna give you all the extra tools that hopefully you can do this for yourself. This is a great way to make money for yourself. It's a great way to, like I said, uplift other dancers in your community and get them paid. It's a great way to bring in other businesses and, you know, just kind of connect the community. So listen, the shows I've put on have been smaller scale, like not like Enter the Garden, you know, pole show in a theater. Like these are more in small like venues. This is for, you know, smaller shows. But basically the first thing you're gonna want to do is pick a theme. The most successful shows have a strong theme, have a strong vibe, have a very clear like aesthetic to them. And the bitches love a theme, okay? Let me tell you, like if you're a dancer, you're most likely surrounded by other artists, other creative people, queer people, people who want to fucking dress up and like have something to be creative with. So you might as well create not just a show, but an event. I want you to be in the mindset of this is a whole experience. This is an immersive experience. They're not just coming here to like watch something happen on a stage. They're coming to be immersed into a full-on experience that they can see, touch, like taste and smell, okay? I want you to think about making an immersive sensory experience. That is what is going to help make this show or this event even more marketable, even more alluring, even more that experience that people want to come pay money to be a part of. So every show event that I've ever put on has always had a strong theme. The first one that I did, and this was more of just a private party, but this is kind of what sparked the other shows that have happened, was cottage horror. So we did cottage core themed, but it was like a private party and all the girlies came in like cute cottage, like coquette themed lingerie, okay? And all of the decor that we got was cottage core themed, and like all the snacks and drinks and beverages were all like picnic themed, and it was just a whole like immersive experience. We did it at my house and we decked out the whole place. You know, we went all in on the decor and made sure that everyone knew there is a dress code. Absolutely call for a dress code in your shows or your events, because like the people will do it and they'll be excited too. Everyone loves to have a reason to dress up and to be a little extra and know that everyone else there is also going to be extra. So like just come up with a really strong like theme. What are the colors? What's the aesthetic you want to go for? The next show we did was called Ethereal Girl. Well, this was the first show actually, like professional like event. Ethereal Girl, so it was like angels, pastels, like heavenly clouds, fairies, like this very airy opulence, right? Like just fluffy clouds, pastels, floaty, airy, fairy, angel vibes. And that was so much fun. Oh my God, the audience looked incredible. Everyone looked incredible. The backdrop that we had, like again, we went all out on the decor and curating the vibe and curating the aesthetic and making it so that when people walked into that space, they were transported to this other like beautiful realm that they like, you know, wanted to be in. It made it so much more than just like, come watch dance. Like it was a whole, from start to finish, you were in this immersive event, right? And that does so well. People are so into that. And then the last show that I did was called Siren's Lair. And this was like underwater, dark, sexy mermaid. So it was like dark, rich, opulent, like underwater, dark colors. It wasn't like pastel, like kid mermaid vibes. It was like dark allure, under the sea, you know, dark blues and indigos and pearls and things like that. So, you know, we had some like seaweed stuff hanging all over, jellyfish, like just, you know, we wanted when people walked in, they felt like, ooh, we are transported into this like underwater magical world. So make sure that you pick a theme, like make it extra, make it memorable, make it like not just another show. Like what is the vibe that you are curating? And that's where you get to have a lot of fun, like being creative. Make yourself a Pinterest board. Like start with the vision, start with a vision board, start with the vibe, make a playlist. Oh yeah, like full-on playlist of like all the kind of songs, and like start thinking about like what you want the space to look like the decor, like really tune in to the sights, the smells, the sounds, like what are they gonna touch, what are the textures, really get into that sensory creative place to really make it just such an immersive thing. Like, is there going to be like food and beverage, and how are those playing into the role as well? Like when we did Cottage Horror, it was all picnic themed. When we did Ethereal Girl, the mocktail drinks that we had were like, you know, pastel colors and herbal like elixirs, like they felt like you were just drinking like a delicious magic potion. And then for Siren's Lair, all the drinks were like under the sea, like mermaid, something themed drinks that were special for that event. So really like bring all the senses alive in the experience, and that's gonna really make it stand out and make it easier to market as well. We got a lot of decor either from thrift stores, like going to thrift stores and finding things that fit the decor, or off Amazon or other online stores, or things that we already had. And then making sure that your dancers, your performers know what the theme is and ask them to adhere to the theme as well. Like whatever songs you choose, like send them maybe the, you know, the Pinterest board, be like, here's the vibe, guys. Like make it very clear to your performers what we are curating together, okay? And then they can put their own spin, their own flavor into that. Then you can also think about other people that might be involved. Like, are there going to be other vendors that you would want to have involved in the show? When we did Ethereal Girl, we had, the place we did it at already had like a cacao bar set up, but we also brought in another local business, like an herbal elixir business that made all kinds of like mocktails and delicious like herbal remedies and like healing beverages, and had them come in and do a pop-up. And they were super excited to do that, and it was great. And you know, their drinks that were colorful and beautiful and playful, all natural, but they matched with the theme. For Siren's Lair, we had Slow Drip, the Pole clothing company, come and have a booth, and they did an entire Siren's Lair drop just for that show. Like, all the pieces they made were also in theme with the show, which was so incredible. That was such like a gift and a blessing, but like even they were on brand with the theme. We had a local photographer come and set up a little pop-up photo booth and did this really beautiful backdrop. And then we had a local candle maker also have a booth set up, and she had like also themed candles. She had these beautiful like mermaids and seashells, and really think about how you are bringing that clear, strong theme through in everyone you're hiring, all the decor you're getting, all the vendors you're having, what music are you going to be playing in the background, you know, that all matters. And that's what will leave people just feeling like, wow, that was such a great event. Like, every detail was thought of, it was so creative, there was so much to do and look at, and just like this beautiful sensory experience besides seeing amazing dancing. Get really clear on the vision first, and then you can take that vision into making it happen logistically. The first thing that you are going to want to do is figure out your budget, figure out your finances. So I'm going to give you kind of the formula that I've used for every show that gets both me as the producers and the dancers and everyone involved paid. That's what we want. We want everyone who's involved to walk away from the experience feeling like, fuck yeah, I just had a great time and it was financially beneficial as well. First thing you're gonna need to figure out is your venue, right? Where is this going down? And you can reach out to several different venues. I've had a show at 2 different venues, and each venue is gonna have like a different way of doing things, especially when it comes to renting the space and tickets and stuff. When we did Ethereal Girl, we just paid a flat fee to the venue to be able to use the space. Then they were gonna keep 100% proceeds of whatever they made at the bar, and we were in charge of the tickets and ticketing. When we did Siren's Lair, the venue was gonna handle all the ticketing, and they wanted to do a door deal where we got 70% of proceeds and they got 30%. I would try to find a venue that can do a door deal when it's something that's mutually beneficial like that, where they're also incentivized to want to sell tickets to get more money. You know, that'll help too with the marketing. We were really lucky with the space for Ethereal Girl. It had just opened, so they gave us a really low price. Like, it was like $300 to rent it for the whole day. So they gave us like a really good deal because they wanted to get the news out that the space had opened. I don't know if we would have gotten that good of a deal at another space. So I would recommend, you know, ask around, like put feelers out into your community. Do you have any friends who like own a venue, or know someone who owns like a venue space or a bar that has like a stage or something, you know, or like a event space of some sort? Like, kind of reach out and start to feel out like, where could you put on a show like this? With both of these shows, we were lucky enough to either like have gotten to know the person who was opening up the space, or knew the people who ran the event space that we did Siren's Lair at. Then, you know, we were lucky both those times. But if I were to do it again and not use either of those venues, I would first kind of get my pitch together. I would create a really strong email. You basically want to just like persuade them and make it clear to them that like, this is a show they will make money off of, right? That they're gonna benefit from, that you're not just like whoever that's like, I just want to like put on a show, I don't know, it'd be fun. Like, really go in acting like you already know what the plan is. You've already got a strong plan to like make money and have it be a professional show, right? Be like, I already know like who my performers are. I have already a strong marketing plan. Like, we are going to pack out this place. So like, what are your door deals for like a sold out show? Like, you just got to go in with confidence and just say I'm looking at different venues around town to see who would be best to accommodate this show that I have that's gonna be hiring, you know, incredible local or maybe out of town talent, and like really draw in the such and such community, you know, like drawing in the local like dance, pole, artist community, whatever. Like just make it clear that you have the vision, you know what you're doing. Don't go in and just be like, hey, like, can you help me put on this show? Like, I kind of want to do it. I'm just curious, like, could you help me? Like, what do you think? Do you think this would work? Like, don't go in asking them like questions that's gonna make it seem like they are gonna have to put in more work to help you out. Ask logistical questions about like what's your ticket capacity? Like, do you do a door deal? Do you have any kind of thing? Like, do you have a DJ on staff? Do you have security on staff? Do they have a bar? Do they do drinks and food or anything like that? You know, ask, are they willing to also have other vendors pop up? Like, ask them logistical questions like that. You know, and then also you can get a feel for like which venue is gonna be right for you depending on like what you need. Ask, do they have the stage? Ask, do they have chairs that you can use, or you're gonna have to rent chairs? Ask them like what their lighting system is like. If you go in being very confident, coming off professional of like, I know what I need and I'm gonna ask these questions, like I know what I'm doing, here's my plan, let's do a door deal so we can like both benefit off of this. I would really try to get a door deal if you can get like a 60-40 or 70-30. That's gonna be really good, because then the more ticket sales, the better for everyone, right? Versus just paying a flat fee. If the venue knows it's getting paid already, then like they might not help you with marketing as much. So that's something you might want to negotiate out too. Like, if they are doing a flat fee, what's included in the flat fee? You know, make sure like, does that include like a sound system? Does that include staff? Like, ask them what it includes. Just make sure like you cover all your bases when finding your venue, and just get really clear within yourself of like what you need. Do you need a DJ, or do you have someone that's gonna be handling sound? Do you need a lighting system? Do you need to be able to access the venue all day to set up beforehand? I would recommend that. Do you want to have, you know, a venue that has capabilities to serve like drinks? Get really clear on what you want, and that's going to be part of the visioning and the creative process, is knowing all the things that you need so that you can put feelers out and figure out which venue is going to be right for you based on what kind of performance you're going to be putting on, what kind of space you want, just kind of finding the right venue for you. Now, let's say you have your venue figured out, okay? Here are the other financial things you're gonna need to know. The next step is gonna be like, okay, what are ticket prices? Now that I have the venue, what am I going to be selling the tickets for? What's the right price? Here's what I want you to be thinking about, is this kind of equation, is putting together the costs of the show. So that includes everything from what is your budget for buying decor and stuff and like making it look good? Do you need to rent chairs? Do you need to rent a sound system? Do you need to rent someone's stage pole? You know, like what do you need in terms of like things there? Add all that up. You're gonna need to figure out what you want to pay your dancers. So one of the shows that we did, Ethereal Girl, we didn't pay the dancers. They knew going in that like they were donating their time and performance, and that all the money was going to charity. All the profits after paying for all the things for the show, all that money went to charity, and that was so incredible to be able to donate like $1,000 to a really incredible local foundation. What we also did though at that show was make sure that we had like $2,000 worth of cash that people could then Venmo us for, to be able to tip the dancers and throw money. So they still did make money. You could do it that way too. If you want to put on a show for charity, like fuck yes, that is an amazing way to give back to the community. People are usually so excited to participate. Like we oversold that show. We had people like emailing us and begging us to be like, do you have any extra tickets? Like, please, please. Like, people were stoked. So like, if you want to do this for like charity too, incredible. Like, that's usually going to do really well if it's a cause that people really want to support. For Siren's Lair, we paid each dancer $150. So we knew, we were like, hey, we're going to have, I think we had like 10 dancers total for that show, 10 local talent. And so we knew, okay, like 10 times 150, that's part of our budget. We knew that we wanted to be able to still have cash on hand so that people could throw money. Like, we want the dancers to be tipped too. So we also had to factor that in. How much cash do you want to have that people can throw, right? So that's like another $1,000 or something. Then, you know, do you need to pay security? Do you need to pay your own staff, like a DJ? Do you need to pay someone who's going to be checking in, you know, people checking in people's tickets? Like, just get really clear on like, what are all the costs? Every time we've gotten like a friend to be our money fairy or our money mermaid, who is the person that is going around with the single dollar bills, and this is what every show should do. Like, if you want your dancers to be tipped, stop just using Venmo QR codes. People like don't get excited as much to tip via Venmo. The first time I went to like a burlesque show and they had this there, where they had one girl going around selling single dollar bills where you could Venmo her, and then she would give you whatever, like $20, $40, $60 worth of ones. I spent so much money because I was just like, I want to throw money. Like, I want to, like, people get really excited. So like, truly the hack is to have actual cash on hand that they can pay for. They're gonna want to, like, the Venmo tipping only works so much. It's not as exciting. Have people there selling money and walking around during the show, like before the show, like during doors, or like have them be available while the show is happening, that people want to buy money, they can. This works so freaking well. So maybe that's just gonna be like a friend. Like, usually every time we've done that, it's been like a close friend who's like, oh yeah, just let me come see the show for free. Like, I'm down to do it. But if you want to pay someone to like factor in what you're gonna pay them, you could pay for like, you know, pole cleaners, stage kittens, money collectors. Usually what we've done is just like within the cast, and when we make the set list, we were just like, all right, like everyone in the cast kind of switches off being a pole cleaner so that we don't have to hire additional people. And then we'll have maybe like one other friend, like we'll have our 2 money mermaids. One of them is going around like selling the money and the other one is picking up. So, you know, you can usually use people within the cast or people that are already there, like maybe get a friend and let them come see the show for free. Like, that's what I would suggest. For when we did Ethereal Girl, we had a couple of our friends be the one checking people in with tickets. When we did a Siren's Lair, the venue was handling tickets because they were the ones, you know, who sold the tickets on their website. So it really just depends on like what kind of personnel you need there, but that is a cost that you may have to factor in. You're also going to want to factor in, what is your desired profit? What do you want to walk away with? Either for yourself or, you know, if you're doing charity. How much money ideally do you want to also walk away with? That you need to factor that in as a cost of the show, okay? So you want to add in decor/rentals, paying your dancers, cash tips, desired profit, personnel and staff, and then venue costs or cut. So, you know, if you have to pay the venue a flat fee, that is one of the costs you're gonna have to factor in. So I want you to add all this up, like add in all the costs, your whole budget, and figure out what is your budget. And then you need to know what the max capacity is at the venue. How many people can you have in the place? How many tickets can you sell? And then divide that number, divide your costs by 70% of max capacity. You don't want to rely on only being able to pay for your whole show if you sell out every single ticket. Sometimes you will. When we did Ethereal Girl, we oversold. Like, we had people banging down the door. With Siren's Lair, we had a lot more capacity in that place, so we didn't sell out. But luckily, we did the math well enough that we knew, okay, even if we don't sell out, with our numbers, like, we're still gonna be able to pay everyone. And you know, afford all the things even if we don't sell out. So I would recommend, let's say the venue has 100 tickets, factor in, like, pretend like there's only 75. Pretend like, okay, we need to sell 75 of those tickets to be able to afford all the things. And then if you do sell out those extra 25 tickets, that's just like a bonus. That's like, fuck yeah, but not something that you're gonna be like sweating over, like, I'm not gonna be able to afford this. Divide the cost of the show by 75% of ticket capacity. That is going to be your kind of ballpark number around what the ticket price is gonna be.
Okay, so I'm gonna get a little math nerdy on you guys here. I wanna walk you through what to do next if you're doing a 70-30 door deal. So this is my equation, and I'm gonna just walk you through it, because right now I'm sure this looks like crazy. What the fuck? So, but I've broken it down, and it should be fairly simple to get you the right ticket price. If you need to factor in that some outside party is gonna take a cut. So, right, you've got your budget, X, this little emoji is going to represent your budget. Let's just say for the purpose of this equation, the budget is $1,000. It's probably going to be more than that in real life, but let's just say that it's $1,000 for now. And let's say that, you know, 75% of your max capacity of tickets is 50 tickets. So what you would do first, like I said, divide the tickets, or divide the cost by amount of tickets. Okay, so that means in order to cover your costs with 50 tickets, each ticket needs to be $20. So this equation, you can stop here right after this if you are not doing a door deal. If you are just paying the venue a flat fee and that has already been factored into the costs, then like you're good to go and you can just stay right here, and $20 is the amount that you will need to cover all your costs if you sell out 75%. Hopefully you'll sell out more, and then you'll have a little extra more money if you want to cover, you know, any surprise costs that came up, or, you know, pay your dancers a little bit more, or pay yourself, whatever feels good for you. But let's go into if you need to factor in that of this ticket money, you're actually only going to be getting 70% of it. So first thing you're going to want to do is find what the 30% cut of tickets is going to be. So let's say the tickets is $20. You're going to want to multiply that by 0.3 here to get whatever 30% is. So looks like the venue is going to be taking $6 for every ticket that you sell. Okay, right? This is their cut. If they're taking $6, that means that you're only getting 14, and if you do the math, that is not gonna cover all the costs, right? Like that is going to, you're not gonna have the money that you need to afford the show. So here's what you need to do. Take this number, the $6 of whatever the cut is, the 30% cut, take that number and then re-multiply it by the number of tickets. So again, 50 tickets, multiply that by the cut. So that's going to be $300, okay? So now you need to add in this number, whatever this is, as an additional cost. You're going to add this onto the cost here because you essentially need to add in the venue's cut as a cost and start factoring that in, okay? So take this $300 or whatever it is, and now we're moving over here. Okay, this little emoji represents the, we'll just say the upcharge cost of the cut that the venue is going to take. And then this is what I have figured out in this equation is that you're going to need to add on $150 more dollars, because if you are upping the price of the costs, it's going to up the price of the ticket, which means that the venue's cut is going to be a little bit more. Stay with me, it's all going to make sense, but you need to add in another 150 to account for how raising the costs and the ticket in the next equation is going to make their cut a little bit more. So this will take care of that for you. And now the rule for this equation is that you're going to want to add on an additional 0 to this 150 for every 0 that's added to the cost. So, right, if the cost is 1,000, 150. If the cost is 10,000, 1,500. If you're balling out 100,000, like 15,000, so on. Okay, so just know that you're going to have to add this in. And then here is where it all comes together. If you're like, what the fuck? Now you've got a new equation that you're going to do, which is going to be bringing back the original budget that you had written out, adding on the upcharge of the ticket cut for the venue, plus the $150. So that means your new budget is going to be $1,450. Now you can take this new budget and divide by the amount of tickets, the 50 tickets. So this number here, whatever number you get with this new budget divided, is going to be the actual ticket price that you're going to want to go by. And here is why. So if we're going back to finding how much the venue is going to take of their cut, if the ticket is $29, they're taking 30%. That means they're going to be getting $8.7. 29 minus $8.7 is going to leave you actually getting to keep $20.30 profit from each of the ticket that you get to keep. So this way, your actual 70% cut of each ticket will be $20.30, which is way closer to this original price point that we came to of like, all right, this is what I need to sell per ticket to cover the costs of the show, versus the $14 that you would have gotten if you just left the ticket price here at the $20. So this is how you're going to find the price of tickets that is going to account for the 30% cut that the venue is going to take without you having to compromise on your budget, okay? So that you are still gonna, look, you're gonna be making like 30 cents extra. So I've done this equation like quite a few times just to like test it out in different like scenarios and different numbers, and it's pretty fucking solid. Like every time I have come out to a number that is way closer, you know, maybe off by like a matter of cents to the original ticket price that you'll come to, like the ballpark starting ticket. So this is a really solid equation, and you're gonna make sure that you get the money that you need to pay yourself, pay the dancers, afford the show, blah blah blah, and account for the cut that the venue will take, because you don't want to get there and then be thinking, oh yeah, I'm getting $20 per ticket, and then oh, I forgot the venue is gonna be taking $6 for each ticket. So I will give you guys a link to a PDF with this equation if you want to replicate it later down in your own show. You want to make sure that your numbers are tight. You want to make sure there's no surprises. You want to make sure that, you know, this truly is beneficial and all the costs are covered. So this is the equation that I've used, and I worked through it a lot to kind of foolproof it. So it should be good to go, but just know that this is if you're doing a 70-30 door deal. So that's what you should aim for if you're doing a door deal. Okay.
Once you've figured out your ticket price, once you've kind of landed on that perfect number that is going to be able to cover all your costs, start selling them. And as far as marketing goes, the things that I've always done are making a little vibes reel, like putting together all the inspo photos or like getting clips of each of the performers and chopping them up into like a really cool, like super vibey video where it's kind of like, you want to give people that allure where they're almost like, whoa, like what is this? This looks like such a cool vibe. You know, and just kind of drawing them in that way and posting that as a reel, getting all your people to repost it. A really good tip I would also advise is like making individual posters for all of your performers on Canva. Not like actual physical posters, but like little things they can post on their own Instagram, social media, whatever, that like highlights them and has like a virtual poster. Yeah, those are super helpful for, you know, being able to share and stuff on social media, and just cross-pollinate as much as you can. Like make sure that your performers are reposting and posting and helping sell the show, making sure that any of the vendors or any of the people involved, making sure the venue is all like posting it, promoting it. And then you can always share too, like only 30% of tickets left, or like only 10 tickets left, you know, like get people excited to buy. I would say timeline wise, you want to be able to start selling tickets at minimum like 3 weeks away from the show. I feel like each time that's where we've been, like, had about 3 weeks, and it's usually been great. So just like repost, tell people, text people, like, be annoying about it, get people to come, be confident, be like, come, it's gonna be so fun, dress up. People really love to be invited personally. You know, you can always put stuff on blast on social media, but I find that when I have reached out to all the people, like, I will just go through my contacts list, and anyone who's local, just be like, hey, like, thought of you, that you might want to come, would love to have you. Like, people really like that. They're like, oh my god, like, thank you for thinking of me. So having that personal touch too, and like telling people that you want them to be there, that would make you so happy, like, it really goes a long way. At the show, if you can post up QR codes that have a link to each performer's Instagram and Venmo that people can easily find and get, is going to be super helpful. Again, you can have the Venmo there if people want to tip via Venmo, but like the cash tips go so far. But have, you know, make sure that people can follow people on Instagram, make sure people can have their Venmo, print those out, tape them up around the venue, like make it very obvious like what they are and what they do, so that you know, you can help support all the performers. They get paid, they get follows, all that good stuff. Make sure you have a set list and you know who your pole cleaners are. Organize pole cleaner set list, just make sure you have all those little things. And just communicate with everyone in your cast, like over communicate, make a big group chat once you have everyone who you know is going to be performing in it. Just be like, hey everyone, like, here is the performance group chat, here is the date, here's the schedule, here's call time. If you have any questions, like, here's the theme, like, send us your song by this date, you know, whatever, you know, over communicate. Make sure they know exactly where they need to be, when, how much they're getting paid. Do they get a free drink ticket? Do they need to bring a certain kind of costume? Do they get a +1? Like, just make sure they have all of the necessary info before show day, so that on show day you are not getting blown up with like texts asking questions. Make it very clear, make it easy, make it stress-free for your performers so that they can just show up. And yeah, those are all my tips, you guys. Hopefully I didn't leave out anything. But those are the biggest things that I would go by, is figure out your budget, your finances, figure out your theme, have a really strong marketing plan, and just fucking go for it and like trust yourself and have so much fun like creating this immersive experience, and just calling in that abundance for yourself and for your community, and create the things that you want to experience. At the end of the day, like, we are just here to create the life experience we want. So find your people who are aligned with that vision, and they will help you, they will show up for you, they will want to participate, and I hope that it just leaves you feeling super confident in what you can do. Like, if you have any other questions or things that I maybe didn't cover, you want to know more about, post it down below. I would be happy to answer those. You can hit me up on Instagram too. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this is helpful. I hope you're able to put on your own incredible shows, like, even if it's just a small thing. Like, it doesn't have to be a big thing, and like smaller shows you probably will be able to walk away with profit a little bit sooner than, like, for example, my friends who run Enter the Garden. They're, first of all, they fucking throw it down for their performers for their show. Like, they bought an entire like $8,000 professional, like, high quality safety, like, truss system. They buy all the costumes, food, you know, rental, studio rental space, all the things. Like, it really just depends what your vision is, right? Like, they're in it for the long haul of like investing big time in making this show like incredible, like high quality professional level. They haven't yet made profit. They've paid all their dancers and prioritized paying the talent and paying for everything that they need, but they themselves haven't walked away with profit yet, which, like, the sweetest fucking angels. If you have a bigger vision, do bigger thing, like, fuck yeah, but just know that you might not walk away with profit right away than doing like a little venue show like this that requires a little bit less. So this is just my experience running smaller shows. I don't have experience running a fucking epic crazy production with like 40+ dancers like Enter the Garden, but yeah, just wanted to share this in case it helps any of you guys start to create things within your own community and have ease and abundance in all of that. I will talk to y'all soon. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Create the show. Do the thing. You fucking got this. Mwah.